Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the course Python for Data Science, floated by IEEE. So, uh, for the course, basically, I have set up a website where I will be uploading different parts of the course, such as the introduction and the different modules in the course. You can easily go through these web pages and try to figure out what we are trying to do at any point of time. I'll also be going through them with you together to help you set up things and also to uh, go through the modules of the course. So, uh, before anything, uh, before we jump into any part of coding or anything, uh, it's important to say that this course does not assume that you have any previous knowledge of programming or Python, but in case you have, it would be a great help for you and it would make my job a little bit easier. But yeah, so since keeping in mind that the students of this course might be inexperienced in coding and everything, I have designed the course in a way so that it's easier for you to set it up and to start doing every module. Each module has exercises attached to it that you can try and attempt, which will help you make sure whether you have understood concepts that are taught in a given module. So, before we start with the installation and everything, I'll just give a brief overview of how the course is going to look like. So in the first module, we have introduction to different data types and data structure that are used in Python. So the goal of the course is to uh, basically work on data. The goal of the course is basically data science. So yes, so the goal of the course is to do data science. So for that, we need to know how data is stored and manipulated and used in different programming languages. So this is what we will familiarize ourselves with, how data types and data structures are there in Python. In the second module, we learn about control flow, how certain loops and building certain functions can help us to uh, yeah, can help us to uh, manipulate the data or go through it or do something with it. So these are basics of coding that we'll be still be learning in Python. Starting from module 3 onwards, we'll be focusing on specific, uh, just a second. Hi, hello. Yeah, anyways, as I was saying, in the third module, we'll be dealing with NumPy, which is an open source library for Python, which is used to work with arrays and different data structures. In the fourth module, we'll be using pandas to help us like store and manipulate data in different possible ways. Next up, we have matplotlib, which will help us make plots from our data in the data frames and data sets that we have. Then we'll use Seaborn, which is an extension to matplotlib that helps in uh, that makes it easier to visualize certain plots. Finally, we'll be learning the scikit-learn module, which is the most useful and robust library that we have in Python for machine learning. It provides us different efficient methods of building models and accomplishing different tasks such as uh, regression, classification, etc. So today what we'll be doing is basically we'll be installing Python. So uh, first you need to go to this website or just need to Google uh, Python download and you'll find this website. Anyways, I'll put it up in the chat. Yeah. So from this website, you can download. So the current version of Python that people are downloading is 3.12. However, 3.11 also works. That is the one we'll be using in this course. Yeah, it's fairly easy to download and install Python. Once you download this, you'll get an installer, which will basically install the language for you. Then, from the Python website only, you have this thing called the Python tutorial, which I would highly recommend you to go through. It uh, basically tells you about the different parts of the language and how you can use Python and what are the basic statements. We'll anyways go through all of this in short in the lectures. This is basically a knowledge base of most of the things that Python has to offer, and we'll cover most of it. However, we might leave some of these advanced steps in the course, such as taking input and output directly from the interpreter. Yeah. Uh, anyways, yeah. But those are things that we can later look into if everyone is interested in those. Next, this is a website called Glossary, which will give you the definitions of different terms that might be used in the Python tutorial and you might find when you are using Python. So it's a good resource to have. You can just search for anything that you want to look up and it will give you a definition for it. Uh, Another important resource while learning Python and for coding would be Stack Overflow. So basically, Stack Overflow is like website where you can ask questions and your questions are answered by other people in the website. But these questions mostly relate to programming and everything. For example, in this question, someone put a code and say, how do I save this image instead of showing it? So people have answered here and stuff. You can create an account, you can look for questions and you can put your own questions and look for different tags such as Python and different languages or web development, whatever. And you can find different questions related to it. Mm. No. Uh, yeah. So once you have installed Python, the next logical thing would be to install VS Code. That's the interpreter IDE that I would recommend for using because it is quite powerful and it has a lot of extensions that you can use. So once you download this and install it, it should look something like this. I'll just stop sharing and share my screen again. Yeah, I hope everyone can see that. So basically, what you do is you go here, extensions, and you look for different extensions. Since we will be using Jupyter notebooks, it's good to download this extension called Jupyter, which will help you run some notebooks inside VS Code. For example, I have this notebooks that we'll visit soon called Data Types and Operations. So it's a Python Jupyter notebook. So what it basically allows me to do is, uh, yeah, along with adding text in the page, I can also add a cell where I can input code and it will work. For example, if I run this code, it should print 5. If I change it to 7, it should print 7 and so on. So yeah, this is basically like a notebook that you are using, yeah, to write code and also to write something about the code. Anyways, that's it for VS Code. It's quite fairly easy to install. And once you install VS Code, I would recommend installing the Jupyter extension, which will let you run the Jupyter notebook. In any case, if you don't want to install all this in your laptop, and if you want to work online or from somewhere else, not on your computer, so what you can do is you can go to collab.research.google.com. Here you can create Jupyter notebooks. Basically, once you open, you will get this screen kind of. There in File, you can open new notebook. Once you open a notebook, it should open up in some time. Yes, you can add exactly code blocks or text blocks. So text blocks will basically let you write anything. It will show up as text. And in code blocks, you write basically Python code. Most of the libraries that you will need will be loaded. So you just need to write the code and it should run. The first run will take a little bit of time because the notebook is establishing connection to its uh, server for running. So yeah, first one should be slightly slow. Yeah, it's connected now. Yeah. So yeah, once you write some code, you just need to press Shift Enter. That's the same case for Jupyter Notebooks and VS Code also. So yeah, I will share a link to Colab on the chat box. Yeah, that would be it for today, unless anyone has any questions or anyone needs help setting up. I will share the link of the website that I've created for the course. So this is the link to the website. You can check out the link to the website and then go through the whole introduction, which is very detailed and which will uh, yeah, which is very detailed and which will help you go through all the steps and all the links for the different things such as the glossary or the link to download Python and the link to download VS Code and the Jupyter extension. Everything is inside there. Once you are done with that, uh, I would recommend installing different Python packages using pip install. So, I'll show a demo basically. So, yeah. So basically, once you install Python, you can just type Python in your command prompt and it should come up. Okay. So now what we want to do is, so basically, let's say we are somewhere in document and we want to create a virtual environment. So a virtual environment is basically a place where you can, which you can use to install different modules of Python so that you don't have issues later. So basically, in one folder, you set up a virtual environment. There you run all your codes for a single project. And then when you move to a different project, you make another folder and you make another virtual environment. This helps you keep your different projects separate and also helps to keep like the Python code from running into issues in those different projects. So basically, let's say uh, I make a directory here called test. So I'll go into the test directory and I'll see there's nothing inside here. So what I can do now here is type python -m venv and then some name. So this is basically you are using the Python program to call the module venv, which creates a virtual environment. And then if you type the name Python for data, right? Yeah. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Chetan. If you have Jupyter Notebook, it should work. You don't need to download other things. You just need a way to run Jupyter notebooks. Every class, I'll be sharing Jupyter notebooks with you. Yeah. So basically, now we have created a virtual environment here called Python for data science. What we'll do is, if you are on a Windows machine, you type this. So then we have activated the virtual environment called Python for data science. Here, pip is the package manager for Python. So basically, if you do pip list, you see all the list of packages that are installed in your Python distribution. Currently, I have these two. So for the course, what we want is to install pip install Jupyter matplotlib. So you can just put a space and write all these names like I'm doing it now. P pandas matplotlib I wrote cborn sci-kit sci-kit. 1 second. Yeah. So yeah, this is what you should run. It will slowly install all the packages, and after that you should be basically able to use this. So even if you have Jupyter, it's okay, it should work. You just need to install these packages that I have mentioned in this introduction. Yeah, introduction here. Basically go through this, go through all the module introductions for different modules. That will give you an idea of how the course will be. We also have a eighth module, which is a project that we will be doing. So basically, once we go to that, once we have mastered all the different parts of data science, such as uh, looking at data, analyzing it, making plots, and making models, finally we'll do a hands-on project that will help us put everything together. Yeah. So basically, that is it for the introduction. Uh, if you have any questions, it would be great if you can ask them now. Uh, So tomorrow I'm slightly busy. So the next class will happen on Thursday, 25th, 6 to 8 p.m. So I'll see you then. And on the next class, we'll be talking about module one, which is data types and data structures. Uh, yeah, right before the class using uh, right before the class to using email, I'll share the module files with you, the exercise file, one exercise file and one module file. The module file will have all the information regarding the module. I can show you a demo. Okay. Uh, so basically, this is the module file for data types and operators. So this will the Jupyter notebook, which will have different examples, and then you'll have a Jupyter notebook with the question so that you'll need to solve and give it to me later. Keep it. Yeah. So basically, that is it. We'll be meeting next on 25th January, Thursday, at the same time, 6 to 8 p.m. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll close this session here. Is that okay? Great. Thank you. Just stop. Got it.